Well, hey there, Jiu-Jitsu fans. It's Coach Roy. I'm checking in on my next vlog in regards to this journey that I have going on about my neck. If you've been following this, you understand that I've got a pretty serious herniated disc in my cervical spine, but along with that, I've got cervical stenosis that's pushing in and compressing my spinal cord at C3 and C4, as well as a little bit of compression at C2 and C3, C5 and C6, C6 and C7. So I've got several different things going on. One thing I learned in my MRI is that I was born with a genetically smaller than normal foramen, which is the passageway of which your spinal cord passes through. So if the average person has a 14 millimeter foramen, mine might be a 12 or an 11. And what does that mean? Well, it obviously means that I've got less space to have an intrusion go into my spinal column without feeling any side effects. So when your spine is healthy, you're not 55 years old and there's nothing protruding into your spinal column, it doesn't really matter that you've got a below normal space in your spinal cord, but have a bulging disc or a herniated disc with some arthritis and some bone spurs, and suddenly you start having symptoms. My symptoms were including left arm weakness, atrophy of the muscle in my left arm. It's pretty severe. I can only lift a 9-pound weight comfortably to do any sets of bicep curls, and that's different, obviously, from my right arm. My right arm, I can do 20 pounds, 30 pounds. I can curl a 50-pound weight. But now the effects are going over to my right arm as well as down into my legs and in my toes, which is what led me to this MRI. So that being said, I've been researching therapies on what to do, which is why I'm doing this vlog. I went out and I Googled other jiu-jitsu practitioners and BJJ black belts who have had similar situations, but quite honestly, there's not a ton of like 50-year-old and older active jiu-jitsu practitioners vlogging about this stuff. So I'm an educator. I've been an educator for decades, and I love teaching. I love helping people. And I thought, man, if I'm going to go through this, I should probably vlog my experiences in hopes that you guys can benefit, that anybody can benefit from this. Well, let me do a little bit of background. I'm not super excited about getting a surgery of any sort. I'm a retired paramedic and I'm a medical educator. And though there is a time and a place for surgery, I would have to say that I'm more in the camp of it's a last-ditch resort. And I just found it hard to believe that I was at my last-ditch resort. My reflexes are all checking out okay. Overall, though there's weakness on the left side, I've got pretty good grip strength. It's just now that I'm starting to feel more systemic type of symptoms, which is what sent me to the MRI and got this diagnosis. Well, I came across this physician not far from me who is, he's an osteopathic doctor. He's a DO versus an MD. I have a lot of respect for DOs because traditionally the osteopathic doctors took more of a holistic look into the life of a person who is suffering from an illness or an injury. So I'm a little bit biased towards them anyways, was basically brought up on an osteopathic doctor all my life. And this physician actually works with treatment of and regeneration therapies for joints and soft tissues. Well, to make a long story short, I've opted to at least give this a try. The treatment that I received today was called a prolozone treatment. It's not covered by insurance. It's an out-of-pocket cost. As of this recording, the cost was around $250. I was able to use my HSA card for it. But I'm used to paying out of pocket for a lot of things. And so I'm count my blessings that today I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford to do this out of pocket. And I understand why it's not covered by insurance, because a lot of times these are alternative therapies or not mainstream therapies. They're potentially even cutting edge or possibly even experimental with varying degrees of success. The prolozone treatment uses several different medications: procaine, a B vitamin, and a homeopathic ozone treatment that is appropriate for injection. This is supposed to help alleviate some of the inflammation that's around my vertebrae and the ligaments and tendons and muscle groups, as well as some of the nerves and nerve roots. And this is going to be a 3-week treatment. So 1 treatment, multiple shots. The injections go right into my spinal column vertebrae, not into my spinal cord, obviously, but around it. And then it allows the medicine to kind of infiltrate around those areas. All I really felt, I didn't even feel the injection. So if you're an anti-needle person, it was not bad at all. It was a very small gauge needle, like a 27 gauge needle. And the most I felt was a little bit of fresh pressure from the fluid, but it wasn't painful at all. Now this happened only probably an hour ago. So as of this recording, I'm an hour in. I could taste a little bit of the B vitamin, which was weird. I don't think everybody has that, but I did. But other than that, now I'm just kind of trying to assess my symptoms to see if they're better. I'm trying to keep my posture good. I'm trying not to overdo it. I am still supposed to stay on light duty, so that means no sparring, no working out, just verbal coaching until week 3 at least, in an attempt to let these tissues heal while I'm having this treatment. So stay tuned on that, because obviously my goal is to get to a point where I'm symptom free and get the clearance, at least from this doctor, to be able to start working out again, see if my weightlifting actually works, because right now it doesn't work on my left arm at all. And then when I get the clearance, go back to some light flow drills or drilling. If I do any sparring, I'll make sure to keep people off my neck. And that's kind of that's my goal. Surgery is still not out of the question. I have to watch this day by day and see where this takes me. But I also have a lead on a surgeon that might be able to actually go in with a really small, minimally invasive tool and be able to clean up some of those disc parts that have bulged and are pushing in on my spine, and possibly can microscopically, if not like, maybe it's not microscopic at all, but it's very small, and be able to relieve some of that. And has had some success with MMA fighters out of New Jersey. So I'd have to travel for that, but it may be well worth it. So there's my update. Stay tuned for more. I'll let you know kind of how my progress goes and where this takes me. And I hope that you benefit from it. And stay tuned. We'll let you know where it goes from here. Thanks. Stay on the mats. Be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.